Good morning, folks. Kirk here with Kirk Giordano Plastering. Today we are in beautiful San Jose. That's a good drive for us, but here's what we're doing. These folks emailed me this crack here, and through the photograph I was able to come up with a price and tell them what was going on here. Now, what I questioned them over the telephone as we spoke, and I said, "You got any big redwood trees over there? Because that looks like the roots are going under the concrete and causing this, or it could just be a failing foundation." As I'm here now, I see that there's a couple things that are incorrect here, and not a big deal. A lot of houses have this, but this kind of cracking is structural. They're way past the point of caulking here. What they have is the stucco butted on the foundation, which doesn't, it locks it in. It won't give it any expansion joint. So that's kind of typical hairline cracks, but not these kind of big ones here. But they also have this concrete, which is about 4 inches, and it's all butted together. It's all locked in there, so something's going to give. This is pretty extreme. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to take my bulldog, and we're going to just break it out here. I could also use muscle and hammers and pound it out, but it gives a cleaner finish if I use the bulldog. So we're going to use the bulldog and break this out. Then after I see what we have here, more likely I'm going to have the foundation. We'll wire brush it. After we wire brush it, we're going to weldcrete it, and then we're going to re-stucco it. Is that going to be permanent? No, but it's going to. The house is about 70 years old. For this kind of stuff to happen again, it'll probably take 20 years, and I doubt it would be like this. It may just get hairline cracks again. Anyway, over on this side, I think what we're going to do is we're going to take, I brought my drills, so I'm going to probably remove some of the clamps there and raise this delicate pipe up about 4 inches so we can see what we're doing. Anyway, once we break this out, I'll show you again, and we'll show you how to fix these kind of structural cracks. Alright guys, we have removed the stucco. Here's a tip for anybody who says, "Oh gee whiz, I want to do something similar." All of the dust has got to come off. Then we're going to wire brush this. Then we're going to apply weldcrete, a bonding agent, to it. Over here, this corner has seen better days. There's been a lot of fellows working on this. The windows all have been replaced. All this stucco has been replaced 3 to 4 times. We had some mud seal showing here, so I went ahead and put a grace membrane on top of that mud seal. We're going to reinforce the heck out of this with wire. The fella knows his foundation is shot, at least on this side, but he says, "Well gee, if the foundation's bad, can we just cosmetically correct it until I can save up enough money to redo that?" So that's what we're doing today, because looking at it with a little bit of exploration we've done, the foundation may need to be replaced on this. Of course, I'm no foundation guy, but judging from the structural cracks and from what I see here, this concrete should not have come off that easy, even with all my powerful tools. All right, guys, Jay's already got a whole bucket of mud mixed. He's putting a couple scoops into the other bucket, and we're going to mix that individually because what I got on this corner here, it requires a lot of mud. I mean, there's 6 inches right there. So I want it real hot, and I want it to set within, 5 minutes. So the rest of the wall is about 1.5 inches to 2 inches. So we don't need it as much Luminite in it. All right, guys. Notice Jay lifted this pretty nice to give us a lot of room to work where we're not worried about that. On this foundation, I got the weldcrete, but unlike some of my other videos where I'm doing color coats, I went full strength. And what I'm doing here is I'm pushing the cement in. I'm going to push and push and push until I can't push anymore. That way, this whole thing I know is solid. I'm going to do about 10 of these right here. And this is really hot mud, meaning it's setting fast. That's what I want. I'm going to just keep going. I want to push it till it goes 6 inches in the back again. Okay guys, a couple more tips. When you're doing something like this, the bottom piece of the stucco here, you use a lot of cement. I mean, I've gone over this numerous times now to get that in there, and what I do is I just back over it. I put a lot of stucco in there, and what do we want to do is the stucco coming down here in back of it, I want to key it in there, and because it's about 2 inches thick, yeah, I'm using Luminite. Luminite hardens quick, but if it's not keyed in there well, we won't be able to float it. I started floating this, and I'm going to continue. Now, another thing I should point out to folks, in case not everybody has as much accumulated experience as myself, this is all we do, is stucco houses. See this crack going here? Well, let me explain it here. They got an expansion joint here, an expansion joint here, and one here, but that didn't stop some of this from cracking. This, you don't want to put concrete in this crack. I see a lot of people, like even these folks, prior to me coming here, somebody put concrete in here. What you want is, if you're going to seal this, put a polyurethane caulking. That way the two can move like this and not buckle. It would have been better off when they did the actual concrete here, put a piece of wood in here or a polyurethane board. That way the two can move. So if you folks are doing this at home and you say, oh gee whiz, I got a crack here that's ugly, caulking, and a really good caulking, because a cheap caulking in 1 year, you just pull it right out. A good caulking will last about 10, 15 on the ground, and it'll flex with the house, so you won't get this kind of combination where it's just got nowhere to go but to crack. Okay guys, that's the completion of it, and notice my walls are true and plumb. Normally if there was not a foundation here or concrete, I sometimes pyramid it to give it more strength, but of course if I pyramided it, you look at the wall, you say, whoa, that's kind of crooked. Anyway, that's my float finish on top of their float finish. They got new windows. A lot of work's been done on this house. My finish is better than the other fella's finish, because I do this for a living. Anyhow, my name is Kirk. I'm with Kirk Giordano Plastering. Thank you folks for watching. We'll see you guys on the next one.